coming into Target, there wasn't even anybody there. When we went first time, when I was like really upset about it, there wasn't even anybody outside. There was just that one thing on the glass that said masks are mandatory to shop in here. And so when I said that, he was like, yeah, he said, I'd like to have more security. And he said, really, I agree with you. All of the employees here, we wear masks. Even if it wasn't required, we'd still be in masks because we realize what's going on here. We live here, you know. My husband and I, my husband took me over to Target because we had just been notified that another friend of ours had passed away from COVID. And I had been at a COVID vaccination site earlier that day, assisting with the COVID-19 vaccinations. We were doing the Pfizer vaccination. And so it's funny because most of the people there have already received their first and second doses. And it was a mostly second dose vaccination for most of the patients that were there. But even with that, we all keep our masks on, and most of us are double masking still. And so my husband and I were going to get the card on our way home, and we went into Target, and we're in the card section, which is toward the front of the store, and I saw some guy walk by with no mask on, talking on his phone. And I turned around and I saw another girl, pushing a cart, talking with her on her cell phone, pushing a cart, and no mask on. And I was like, weird. And so I said to the guy, because he had stopped to look at our car, I said, there's a sign out front that says you have to have your mask on, right? It's very clear, very, very big. Masks are required to shop here. And he says, yeah, personal choice. And I said, but it's not personal. You're like within feet of other people. That's not a personal choice. You can personally choose to stay home, but once you're breathing other people's air, that's not personal. And there was a Target associate putting stuff up, and she just kind of looked away. I said, okay. And I looked at the other girl who was talking on her cell phone, pushing the cart, and I said, masks are required. She said, oh no, I have a respiratory issue. And now I'm a nurse. And I'm thinking, if you have a really bad respiratory issue, bad enough that you can't even wear like a face shield, you're really hard to push that cart that was full of stuff, talk on your cell phone at the same time. But okay, whatever. Go for it. So my husband was just like, you know what? We're wearing our masks. We're doing the best we can. Can't police the world. And I said, yeah, you know what? You're right. We're here to buy the card. Let's just go over and get the other items we need and just get out. This is why we usually shop at Walmart, because they actually enforce it. So, and as we were walking over toward to get the other items and go out the self-checkout, sure enough, we saw 2 or 3 more pairs of people and other single people just walking totally maskless, not even ashamed, like no big deal. And we are and even the sign outside even says, due to the emergency situation, because Maricopa County has a lot of deaths. And we are like, we've been peaking with the number of deaths, and it's been terrible. And all of a sudden they're just like, oh, we're, no big deal. Cases are dropping. So cases may be dropping, but people are dying. And it's just gotten to the point where it's like, okay, well, it's, we're not seeing people in the ICU as much anymore. The deaths aren't the top stories. Well, no, because, we've had kind of a big insurrection on the Capitol and a change of presidents. And, that's kind of been top in the story, but we're back now, and the variants are coming in, and there's different strains of it coming in, and people need to pay attention. And so after we checked out, I said, you know what, honey, I just got to ask the store manager, just with the maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are, they are supposed to be doing it, and maybe their employees aren't aware. So I asked to speak to the store manager just to ask him, and he was he was really sweet and very apologetic. He said, you know what, it's a corporate policy. We're not allowed to approach people. We're not allowed to, say anything because people get really mad and they're angry. And I said, okay, but there's a sign outside. So you can't even, like Walmart has people that stand there and watch you as you come in, and they'll say, sorry, you can't enter. And you guys don't even do that. And he said, well, we have a security person down at that end. I said, okay, but, and as we were talking, I'm counting people behind him that are entering with no mask. And so we were just talking, and I said, okay, so we've been sitting here talking for like 10 minutes. No less than 8 people have walked past, no mask. And it's frustrating to be fighting so hard, and to have been working at vaccine sites and seeing people that are just like, oh, you people are angels. I can't believe you're out here volunteering your time to give us shots, and thank goodness we're getting it. And then to have other people just be like, oh, well, it's no big deal. It's my personal choice, my choice, and that's what I want to do. And I understand that a lot of people get really violent and aggressive, but it's not a personal choice. It's public health. And the option is, like Walmart and like a lot of really responsible, and Walmart's not necessarily usually responsible. So I'm really surprised by this. But if you can't be a decent person and look out for other people's safety as well as your own, then don't shop here. We have we have curbside pickup, order online. If you can't, through any respiratory issues you have, if you can't walk and shop, we have electronic ECVs. We'll have a shopper assistant go with you so you can keep your mask on. Stay in your car, give us your shopping list. We'll go get it for you. But that's not the kind of thing that they just won't even address it. And I don't understand that. So why is Target's policy, why is that not even a thing? I mean, just to let people walk by and just let it be. Well, actually, my daughter, who's due like any day now, she and her husband love the Korean barbecue with the noodles. And so she's like, Mom, please go get me that. So I've actually been to Target twice since I complained. And I have to tell you, they actually put in another sign. So there's the one out front that's on the window, but then they have like one of those wet floor signs, but it's even further in as you go in. And then they have another display that has hand sanitizer and masks with another sign that says, "Did you forget your mask?" And right next to it is a guy in a security shirt, and he'll say things to people like, "Hey, that's a cool mask," or it's like that positive reinforcement, which I think is a great idea. That's what Walmart was doing. Like, "Oh, did you forget your mask? We got one for you right here." So it wasn't making people, I don't want people being shamed into it, because I think it needs to be a positive expression of, hey, we're all in this together, and then on the other side there was another guy on the other side, which is where I was speaking to the manager the first time. They had the same thing. And I was like, okay, cool. So they, maybe they had to hire a second person, which, okay, create a job. That's good. But it was more pronounced that hey, wear a mask, cases may be down, but that doesn't mean we're lowering our safeguards, because now more than ever with the new variants coming in, we need to be even more aware of our social distancing and our safety measures. So I was really pleased to see that. And I didn't see, I think I saw maybe 1 or 2 people in there without masks on, but they weren't even like totally not on. They had them like using like chin straps or, but I was really glad to see that. I was like, wow, this probably didn't even have anything to do with me, but it's just really good to see. So, yeah.